INEC begs the Supreme Court not to admit fresh evidence from Atiku. People are saying, which one can be INEC for inside? Waiting concern Agbero with overload. And whatever INEC or article will be submitting is not even coming from, it's not related to INEC. So why will INEC be asking the Supreme Court not to admit a fresh evidence from Atiku? Well, the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, has urged the Supreme Court to admit fresh documents against President Bola Tinubu. Speaking at the court on Monday, his lead counsel, Chris Uche, SAN, described the matter as a grave and constitutional matter. He urged the court to adopt the application and grant their request. Presenting his argument, he said the issue involving Mr. Tinubu's certificate is a weighty, grave and unconstitutional one, which the Supreme Court should admit. I urge the court to admit the fresh evidence of President Tinubu's academic records from Chicago State University presented by Atiku. The Supreme Court must take a look at Mr. Tinubu's records and reach a decision devoid of technicality. INEC lawyer Abubakar Mahmood urged the Supreme Court to dismiss Atiku'S application seeking to present Tinubu's academic records. Tinubu's lead counsel Wole Olanipekun argued that INEC should have been a party at the disposition proceedings in the US, noting that the CSU depositions are dormant until the deponent comes to court and testify. He told the court that Atiku cannot seek fresh evidence at the Supreme Court. All rights reserves, this material and other things that he will be bringing should not be attended to. Okay, so I'm sure the APC, Tinubu's lawyers, are the ones who have gone to bring a INEC, because now it's like he's trying to defend or trying to justify why INEC is telling the Supreme Court not to admit fresh evidence from Atiku. So this country has now owned by an individual. You were accused of forgery, which is a criminal issue that has been going all over the world since over 3 weeks now. You never challenging the allegations, but you can command the court not to admit it. If you can cover it at home, since you believe judiciary is dead here and can be manipulated to what you wish. Nobody is bigger than more than 200 million people. The judiciary and the justice should save this country from these shameful things. This fresh evidence is related to qualification to contest election, Abi. If INEC had checked very well rather than just collect and keep, we may not have been in this mess. Why is one now opposed to the Supreme Court admitting it to determine the appeal? Sounds like INEC has become an accomplice and had enhanced that rogue election. You are right. God will help his people to remove the evil one, Tinubu and his people. Okay? You too, INEC, you should treat the issue of certificates once and for all times. For all times, we must scrutinize if there is foul play in his credential, so that it will not come up again come 2027. What is worth doing is worth doing well. His Excellency must be free of all debts. He who approaches equity must come with a clean hand. You are wondering, don't admit. Of course, Nigerians already have that. They don't trust the judiciary, but some people just really want to see how the judiciary or the courts will really fool themselves, because of course everybody is already aware of what will happen. If you are in the same environment like what is happening in the US, they would have admitted it and no technicality of all sorts. Supreme Court should admit the fresh evidence from Atiku. It is criminal in nature. Forgery consumed notable Nigerians in the past. Therefore, President Tinubu should not be an exception. Ordinarily, he is supposed to resign if he has conscience, or not should begin impeachment proceedings with immediate effect. Okay, Atiku should stop wasting his money and time on what cannot yield profits. Because of Nigeria, I cannot yield profits. Okay. INEC ought to be neutral on the certificate issue, because we were told that INEC does not have the rights or the power to be investigating, because that the work will be too much for them to go and be investigating whether one result is right. Do you know, even if INEC had already, if INEC had approached the school for them to know whether Tinubu attended school, they would have told them that he attended school, and the nitty-gritty of this whole thing wouldn't have come up. At some point, a lot of people were like, what is even wrong with Atiku? Nothing will come out, don't bother. But the level at which we have seen the whole thing, we wouldn't have seen it if Atiku had, relaxed, because he knew and he knows what has gone wrong somewhere. So that is the cocoa. INEC say no take am. People can say which one can be on our own, because if you are telling us that the court or the law does not permit you to scrutinize or to do investigation on people's results, they shouldn't be bothered. Maybe they believe that at the end of the day the whole thing is going to haunt them, because it will appear as if they didn't do their job well. And you can see why Olanipeko is trying to justify why INEC is saying that the court should not admit fresh evidence or fresh case from Atiku. I don't even know what you think. Let's know what your opinions are. Please just leave them in the comment section and see, and let others learn from you. Thank you.